Good morning, students. In your previous class, already I was explained that how to find HCF. Now, in today's class, I am going to explain about co-primes. Co-primes are also called as relatively prime also called. When you call two numbers are co-primes or relatively primes means if the HCF of any two numbers is equals to 1. If the HCF of any two numbers is equals to 1, then those two numbers what we call it as co-primes, are also called as relatively prime also we call. Example, if the HCF of 2 and 3 if we calculate HCF, see the definition name itself only saying that co-primes means first of all those numbers should be prime numbers, and also if the HCF is equals to 1, okay, here 2 and 3 are prime numbers. If you find its HCF is equals to 1, then those numbers what we call it as co-primes, are also called as relatively prime also we call. If the HCF of any two numbers is equals to 1, those numbers we call it as co-primes. If you take any rational number, example, I am taking one number 1 by 2 or else 3 by 5, I am taking 3 by 5. If you find the HCF of 1 and 2, how much you will get 1. Here the HCF of 3 and 5 you will get 1. You will take any rational number. You take any rational number that should be in simplified form. Its HCF is equals to 1. Means in a rational number, if you will take P by Q is a rational number where Q is not equals to 0, where compulsory P and Q are co-primes. Here why I am saying clearly about this co-primes, because in the next classes, if you will take a rational number, it is clearly you should know about this co-primes or relatively prime, then easily you can able to do the problems. Here co-primes means what? If the HCF of any two numbers, if the HCF of two numbers is equals to 1, then those numbers we call it as co-primes or relative. If you take any rational number, already you know that rational numbers are in the form of P by Q form, means the HCF of P and Q is equals to 1. Then here you observe that P and Q are co-primes. Now already you learnt in your 9th class that if P by Q is a rational number, where P and Q are integers and co-primes, and their Q is not equals to 0 and Q is not equals to 0, in its denominator means what? Here the denominator is Q. Its denominator is in the form of either 2 power m or 5 power n or else both. Then those numbers what we call it as terminating decimal numbers, or else those numbers we call it as non-terminating decimal numbers. Already in previous class I was explained this. Example for this, if I will take 2 by 25, I am taking 2 by 25 means what? Here what I said, if P by Q is a rational number, its denominator means what? Here Q is in the form of 2 power m or 5 power n, or else both means what? Here both means 2 power m into 5 power n, means either 2 power should be there or else 5 power or else both. Other than this 2 and 5, then those numbers we call it as a non-terminating decimal numbers. Here I am taking one example for you. One example here, numerator is 2, denominator is 25. Means what? This denominators, how we can express it as the product of the prime numbers. How much will get now? 5 square. 5 square is 25. Now we observe the denominator is in the form of 5 powers. We can express denominator as 5 powers or not. Now we observe properly. Denominator is in 5 powers. So what you can say now? So 2 by 25 is a terminating decimal number we call. Now you observe properly. Denominator is in 5 powers. I am taking one example for you. 1 by 8. 1 by I am taking. 1 by 8 means what? How we can write now? 1 by 8. 8 you can express it as a product of prime numbers. Then how much you will get? You will get 2 cube. Denominator is in 2 powers. So What I said to you, denominator is in either 2 powers or else 5 powers or else both. Here denominator is 2 powers. So what you can say? Can say that 1 by 8. 1 by 8 is a terminating decimal number. Suppose I am taking another number. 1 by 33 I am taking this. 1 by 30 or 15 by 33 I am taking. 15 by 33 means what now? I am taking 25. 25 by 30. Now we observe properly denominator. How much now denominator is here? 33. 30. This 33 explicit as the product of the prime numbers. So how much will get now? 3 11s. Means what? How we can write now? We can write it as 25 by 3 into 11 we write. 3 into. Now we observe properly. Is denominator is in 2 powers or in 5 powers or else? Here 3. 3 is in this one, not in this one. Its denominator is not in this one. So what you can say? So you can say that 25 by 33 is a non-terminating decimal number. Clearly I am saying if P by Q is a rational number, its denominator is in 2 powers or else 5 powers or else both means so, then you call that number as a terminating. Other than this means 2 powers into 3 or else into 11 like this. It will get denominator. Here you are getting 3 into 11. Here 2 is not there, 5 is also not there. So what you can say? You can say that 25 by 33 is a non-terminating decimal number. Now here I am going to give you some problems for you on this. Write the following. Write the following in. Write the following. Write the following. Write the following numbers in decimal form. Write the following numbers in decimal form and state which are terminating or terminating or non-terminating decimal numbers. The terminating first one I am taking one number, that is 3 by 8. 3 by 8. What is asking? Write the following numbers in decimal form is asking. Everyone you know the decimal form means what? If it contains decimal point, those numbers we call it as decimal. And next state which are terminating and 3 by 8. 3 by 8. It is your numerator is 8 and denominator is 8. 3. Here we didn't mention that to do either division or next problems you will see that without doing division you have to say whether the null. Here is not mentioned like that. Here just is saying that to write in the decimal form. Here it's your wish, you can follow any method. Means what? Here numerator is less than the denominator means what? So 0 and we will take point. So how much will get now? 8 3s are 24 minus 6. 6 means what? Already kept decimal point 0 8 7 are 56. If you do minus means what? 4 already kept 8 5 is 8 5 is minus means what? Here you got remainder is 0. So how will you write now? Which 3 by 8, how will you write in the decimal form? 0.375. And you observe now properly, here you got remainder is 0. If the remainder is equals to 0, then we call the number is a non-terminating decimal number. So what you can say now here? So 3 by 8, 3 by 8 is a terminating decimal number we call. 3 by 8 is a terminating decimal number. If you give any number, just you do division. If you do division means what? If you get its remainder as 0. If you get remainder 0, then the number you call it as a terminating decimal number. If you not get remainder is 0, then the number you call it as a non-terminating repeating decimal number we call. Next you will learn afterwards. That is non-terminating, non-repeating decimal numbers are also there. Non-terminating, non-repeating decimal numbers only call it as irrational numbers. It is also called nothing but those only called as cells also we call it as. Now here I am giving you some problems for you. You try these problems for you. Just easy only. Okay. 2 by 11, 2 by 11, 8 by 125, 8 by 125, 7 by 381, 7 by 381. Now you try to these problems. Okay. You these three rational numbers you write it the decimal form and afterwards say whether they are terminating decimal numbers or else non-terminating decimal numbers. Now next after this, without performing division, without performing division, state whether the following following numbers, state whether the following numbers will have a terminating decimal number, will have a terminating decimal or else terminating or else directly I will write terminating or non-terminating decimal. Now if you observe the properly, write the following numbers in decimal form is asked. Okay, here you get in decimal form and afterwards you are checking the remainder is 0, then you are saying that number is a terminating decimal number. If the remainder is not equal to 0, then you call that number is a non-terminating decimal number. Up to here. But you compare the difference between these two. Without performing division here what you are doing? After doing division, if you get remainder 0, then we call that number as a terminating decimal number. The remainder is not equal to 0 means what? Non-terminating decimal. But here, we should not do division in this process. Both are here also. Here he has given some rational numbers. Example, I am taking one number for you. 13 by 3125 is it? 13 by 3125. You observe the difference between. Here we should not do division. Without doing division, you have to say that 13 by 3125 is a terminating decimal number or not. In today's class, first rule I said, in a rational number, if its denominator is in the form of either 2 powers or 5 powers or else both 2 powers and 5 powers, then the number you call it as a terminating decimal number or else the number call it as a non-terminating decimal number. So what I will do means what? Here we should not do division. Without doing division, you have to say this number is a terminating or it's not. So what you have to do? 3125 you have to express it as the product of the prime numbers. What is the first step you have to do? 3125 you have to express it as the product of the prime numbers. So 5 6 are 30, 5 6 are 30. Next 5 6 are 30 means what? 5 2 are 10, 5 5 are 25. Next 5 1s are 5, 5 2s are, next 5 5s are 5 25 is next 5 5s are. Now 1 2 3 4 5. So how we can write now? 3125 you can write it as 5 to the power of 5, which equals to 13 by 5 to the power of 5. You also know 13 by 3125 is the rational. This one what I am doing, I am writing it as 13 by 5 to the power of 5. Means you also know here the denominator is in 5 powers. Already I said if p by q is a rational number, if p by q is rational, if p by q is rational, its denominator is is in 2 power m or 5 power m or both, or else both means what? 2 power m into 5 power m. Now here what you can say now, here its denominator, denominator is in 5 to the power of 5. Here you observe properly 3125 you can express it as 5 to the power of 5. So now denominator is in 5 powers only. So what you can say now? Therefore 13 by 3125 is a, no, this denominator is in 5 powers. 5 powers means what? Already our first one I said, yes, denominator is in 2 powers or else 5 powers. Then it is terminating. So 13 by 3125 is a terminating decimal number. In the same way, you can try to do another problems for you. Suppose I am taking another problem for you, that is 11 by 12. 11 by 12 means what? 12 express it as the product of the prime numbers means 2 6 2 3. Now 12 you can write it as 2 square into 3. How you can write now? 11 by 12 equals to 11 by 12 you can write it as 2 square into 3. Now you observe properly. Its denominator is the 2 powers. Whatever the condition is, either 2 powers or else 5 power or else 2 powers and 5. But here what is there? Here 3 is there. So what you can say now? Its denominator is not in the form of 2 power m into 5 to the power of n. So what you can say? So 11 by 12 is a non-terminating decimal number we call. First problem I said you one problem for you, 13 by 3125. You express it as the product of the prime numbers. You are getting it as 5 to the power of 5. Its denominator is in 5 powers. So what you are saying? 125 is a terminating decimal without doing division. If you want to do division means what, it will take a lot of time. In this problem, another problem, 11 by 12 means what, 12 you express it as a product of the prime numbers. Here 2 square into 3. Here denominator whatever you are getting, you are not getting in the form of 2 powers into 5 powers. So we are calling this 11 by 12 is a non-terminating decimal number. The first problem is related to by doing division. The second problem is related to without doing division. Now you do some problems without doing division. Without doing division, it's very simple. If its denominator is in the form of 2 powers, 2 power m or 5 power n, or else both, then we will say that number is a terminating. If not other than that, means what, into 3 or into 11 or into 7, like this we will get, means what, that number is a non-terminating decimal number, we call it as. Some problems you try this yourself. Okay, another problem I am saying for you. 23 by 2 cube into 5 square. Now you observe the difference between this problem and this problem. In this problem, here he has given some number, that number I am expressing it as a product of the prime. But here directly he has given that his denominator is in 2 powers into 5 square. So what you can say, directly you can say that. So 23 by 2 cube into 5 square is a terminating decimal number, you can call. Now some problems you try yourself. We say these three problems, either terminating decimal number or non-terminating decimal number. Another one you write 4, that is 27 by 210. You write these 4 problems. Say there whether terminating decimal number or non-terminating decimal numbers. Now in 1.3, third problem for you. Write the following rationals in decimal form using the theorem 1.4. Means write the following, in decimal form using theorem 1.4. Means indirectly already said to this 1.4 theorem is nothing but, already first one I said to that in there 1.4 theorem what it says nothing but, if p by q is a rational number, if its denominator is in either 2 power m or else 5 power n or both, or else both 2 power m into 5 power n, such type of numbers we call it as a terminating decimal numbers, we call that is only the theorem. By using that theorem, now you have to write some decimal, some rational numbers in decimal form you have to write. Now we observe the difference between today's first problem what you did. We have taken a one rational number. The rational number after doing division, if you will get a, after doing division, if you will you are writing its decimal number in rational form or else not equals to rational form, or you are getting that one. If in a rational number, if you get this remainder 0, that number you are calling it as a terminating decimal number or else non-terminating. That you are doing division. After doing division only you are saying that. In second column, without doing division, you have to say that whether it is terminating decimal number or else non-terminating decimal number. But in third column, what he is asking? Here he has given one number. That number you have to write in the form of decimal form, but you should not do any division. By using the theorem, you have to indirectly here you should not do any division. Without doing division, you have to write this number in the decimal form. You have to write. Here we should not do division. Here we should not do division. By using this theorem 1.4, indirect nothing but that. If any rational number, if its denominator is in 2 power m 5 power, or else 2 power m into 5 power. That. Now here 13 by 25 means what? 25 we express as the product of the prime numbers, means what? 5 into 5. So how you can write now? 25 you can write it as 5 square. Now you write 13 by 25 you can write it as 5 square. Now if you will give any number and you will ask to write in the form of decimal form, means what? Here 2 power 5 square is it. Means always you have to bring that number into it. Always that number, its denominator you have to bring. In a rational number, its denominator you have to bring in 2 power 7 into 5. Here 5 powers is there, 2 powers not. So its denominator you have to multiply by 2. What is the 5 power is here 2? So here also for 2 you write. Here denominator what you are writing is not 2 square. In the same way numerator also you write 2 square extra. Once again I am saying, if you will give one rational number, whenever it will ask you that rational number, if you want to write in decimal form, means what? The denominator you have to express it as a product of the prime numbers. That is 5 square. Always denominator should be in 2 powers into 5 powers, both should be there. Here 5 is there, 2 not there. So that's why first you have to write 2. What is the 5 power is here 2? So I am writing. Denominator I am writing 2 square extra. So numerator also you write. Now you do 13 by 2. 13. 2 square how much you will write now? 4. Now denominator how you can write now? I can write it as directly I am writing 13 into 4 by 5 square into 2 square. Now 13 4s how much now you will get? You get 52 by. This is in the form of a to the power of m into b to the power. By using laws of exponents, a to the power of m into b to the power of m, you can write it as a into b whole to the power. By using that, 5 into 2 whole to the power of 2 you can write. Which equals to still what you can write now? 52 by 5 into 2 how much now? 10. 10 means 52 by 10 square is nothing but 100. 52 by 100 how you write it? Whenever you remove these 2 zeros means what? 0.5. Therefore 13 by 25 how do you write in the decimal form? 0.5. Here without doing division I am writing like this. One another column for you I am saying you. 23 by 2 cube into 5 square. Now here observe problem. Here directly he has given his denominator in 2 power into 5 powers. But you observe problem. Here 2 power how much now? 3. 5 power is 2. One more 5 is required here. So what you will do now? Its numerator and denominator you have to multiply by 5. 2 cube into 5 square. Here 1 5 is less its denominator. So 5 power 1 into 5. So 23 5s are 3 5s are 115. Now how you can write? You can write it as 2 cube into 5 cube. How much you will get now? Which equals to 150 by 10 cube. Means 115 by 1000. 115 by 1000 means what? 0.11. Just by using this theorem, easily you will get in decimal form. You will get. same way you try these problems for you. Okay, one problem I said you how to do. I think it just is the denominator you have to express in the form of 5 powers. Here 5 power is there, 2 not there, so multiply and divide by 2. Afterwards, it is easy only for you. Now another problem. You try these problems for you. Two problems I explained, two problems you do homework. Next, express 43.12 bar in P by Q form. Now 43.12 bar means what here, bar is for 1 and 2. He has asked me to write in P by Q form. P by Q form is nothing but rational form. Here he has given a non-terminating repeating decimal number and is asked me to write in the form of rational form. You remember that every rational number can be expressed as either terminating decimal number or non-terminating repeating decimal number. Once again I am saying, every rational number can be expressed as either in terminating decimal number or non-terminating repeating decimal number. The same way, every terminating decimal number and non-terminating repeating decimal number can be expressed in the form of rational form. Rational form to either this form or that form, or again we can convert into rational form. Here he has given 43.12 bar is a, observe, is a non-terminating repeating decimal number. You have to write in the form of rational form. Now, what you have to do means what, let x equals to 43.12 bar. Here bar is for 1 and 2 numbers. Two numbers are there. Means which numbers are repeating here? 1 and 2 are repeating. Here 1 and 2 we call it as period. Bar is for 2 numbers. So we call it as periodicity. Here periodicity is 2. Bar is for how many numbers is there? That one we call it as periodicity. Bar is for here 1 and 2 we call it as period. So which numbers are repeating? X equals to 43 point. Bar is for which numbers? 1 and 2. So 1 and 2 numbers will get 1 2 1 2 1 2 so on. This one we have to assume it as equation 1. Bar is for 1 and 2. So which numbers are repeating? 1 and 2 are repeating. Here periodicity. Periodicity means what? Bar is for how many numbers? 2 numbers. So here periodicity is 2. Here periodicity is 2. So multiply equation 1 both sides with 100. Suppose if periodicity is 1 means what? After 1 you have to take 1 0. Here periodicity is 2. So after 1 I am taking 2 zeros and multiplying by 100. Suppose if periodicity is 3, after 1 you have to take 3 zeros and both sides that equation you have to multiply by 1000. Nothing. Periodicity is 2 means what? First always you have to take 1 and next you have to take 2 zeros. Periodicity is 2, so that's why I am multiplying by 100. If periodicity is 4 means what? 4 zeros you have to take. That is you have to multiply by 10,000. I hope everyone here periodicity is 2, so that's why equation 1 both sides I am multiplying with multiplying by 100. Equation 1 both sides I am multiplying with 100 means what, how you do know? 100 into x equals to 100 into 43.1212 so on. Here 100 into x, how much now it will become now? 100x. So 100 into 43 point means what? Remember that whenever if you multiply means what? Decimal point moves towards the right side. A decimal number if you multiply with an 100 or any other number, if you multiply then the decimal points moves towards the right side. But if you do division means what? Then the decimal points moves towards the left side. If you do division means decimal point moves towards the left side. If you do multiplication, decimal point moves towards the right side. Here I am doing multiplication. Here I am doing multiplication. So decimal point moves right side. How many places here? How many zeros are there? 2 zeros. So decimal points moves towards, that is 43, 12.1212 so on. Now you assume this as equation 2. Equation 2. Now of course what you have to do? You have to do equation 2 minus equation 1 you have to do. What is that equation 2 you have now? 100x equals to 4312.1212 so on. What is that equation 2? First I am writing equation 2 minus subtraction, that is equation 1. What is that equation 1 you have? X equals to 43.1212 so on. Now what you have to do, this to subtraction you have to do minus. Already know that always you remember how you will subtract from the right side. 2 minus 2 0, 1 minus 1 0, 0, 0, decimal point. Now numerator is 2, your denominator is 3. Okay. So you have to borrow 1, 12, 12 minus 3, how much we get now? 9, 9, 0, 0, 0 means what? 10, 10 minus 4, 6, 6 again, 2, 4, 100 minus 1, 100 minus 1, 99x. So how you write now? 99x equals to, after decimal point there is no value for 0, 99x equals to 4269, x equals to 4269 by 99 here to write. Now you observe problem. Here x means what you assume now? X equals to 43.12 bar equals to 4269 by 99. 99 you can cancel anywhere. 4 plus 2 6, 6 plus 6 okay, we can cancel here still. 3 3s are 3 1s are 3, 3 4s are 12, 3 2s are 6, 3 3s are 9. Next 5 plus 2, 5 plus 2, 5 plus 2, 7. Okay, now still can't cancel. So how much we get now? 99x 43.12 bar equals to 1423 by 30. 1423 by 30. Now we observe here 43.12 bar is a non-terminating repeating decimal number. This number you are writing in the form of P by Q form. P by Q form is nothing but ratio form. that is 1423 by 33. 1433. Now like this. First bar is for 1 and 2 means what? Those numbers only repeating. How many numbers are repeating? That one. Here periodicity bar is for 2 numbers, so its periodicity is 2. So you have to multiply by 100. If periodicity is 3 means what? You have to multiply by 1000. Periodicity is 1 means what? You have to multiply by 10. And that just ordinary simplification only. You have to do subtraction. Subtraction after doing that cancellation you will do. So how is this one? You are writing. First one I said every non-terminating repeating decimal number you can write in the form of rational form. That is p by q form. So in the same way you have to do one problem homework for you. One or two problems you do homework. This here bar is for 2 and 3 only, not for 3. Here bar is for 6 and 3. Here bar is 14.123 bar. Bar is for 2 and 3 only. Okay, these two problems we do homework. Now next another one, that is new topic you are going to learn, that is related to theorems. Theorem. First I am going to tell you what are the parts of a theorem. That is first statement will be there. Statement. Statement means what? That statement. Afterwards statement, whatever he has given that given. Suppose what is that? I will say you that in a right angle triangle, the square of the hypotenuse is equal to the sum of the squares of the other two sides. So this is the statement is. So for the statement, whatever he has given, we will take that one. That we will write it as given. Afterwards, given RTP you like. Here RTP is nothing but required to prove. Means what you have to prove that. Afterwards, construction. Afterwards, construction. After construction, next proof here. Suppose you will give any statement and you will ask to prove that one. Means what? These are the parts with the first you have to write the statement. After statement, next you have to write the given. After given RTP. RTP is nothing but required to prove. Nothing but what you have to show that. Afterwards construction and proof. These are the parts of the theorem. Okay. Now why I am going to tell you all this, because suppose he will give any statement. Suppose any statement he has given mathematical statement, like that he will give any statement and he will ask to prove. Means here to prove in mathematics we will follow in two methods. One is direct method. One is direct method and another one is indirect method we will follow. Suppose he will give any statement and he will ask to prove. Means in mathematics we will follow two methods. One is direct method and another one is indirect method. In this direct method, what you will do means what? Suppose you have to show that in a right angle triangle, the square of the hypotenuse is equal to the sum of the squares of the other two sides. That one you have to show that. What you have to show that? That one we will assume it as true and we will do the problem according to that only and we will prove that theorem. But in indirect method, what you will do means what? You will assume that in a right angle triangle, the square of the hypotenuse is not equal to the sum of the squares of the other two sides. Like that we will assume. What you have to show that one we will assume it as wrong. And while doing the problem, somewhere we will get wrong. While doing the problem, somewhere in the middle, if you go on doing that, problem, we will prove that like that while proving or while doing any calculation on any way, we will get wrong for us. Whenever we are getting wrong means what? Our assumption is also wrong. Here assumption is nothing but thinking. What you are assuming, that is wrong. Whenever that is wrong means what? The given statement is true. So here this method, what you call it as indirect method, we call it as. One is direct method. Direct method means what you have to prove that one you assume it as true, and according to that we will do the problem and we will show that. But in indirect method, what you have to show that you will assume that it is wrong, you will assume. While doing the problem, somewhere in the middle, we will know that what you assumed is wrong. Whenever our assumption is wrong means what? The given statement is true. So here we are showing. So this method we call it as indirect method we call. So theorems are, we can do by two methods. Theorems are some of the problems. Two methods, one is direct method and indirect method. Why I said you? Because if you will give any rational number and you will ask to show that this number is a rational number, means what? You will give a rational number and you will ask to show that, means what? Always you will show it by indirect method only. By doing the direct method it is not possible. By using the indirect method only